Good day, I'm Twyla Whelan and this is your JIS News for Thursday, February 13, 2025. Jamaicans will have a say on the matter of the country's final court as the government commits to having the Constitution Amendment Republic Bill 2024 passed in Parliament and approved by the people in the 2025-2026 legislative year. Custos of Kingston Stedman Fuller made the declaration during today's ceremonial opening of Parliament as he deputized for Governor-General Sir Patrick Allen in delivering the throne speech. The legislation, which is designed to replace the monarch as head of state and establish Jamaica as a republic, is now being reviewed by a joint select committee of both houses of Parliament.
The reform work will continue into the next phase with a sharp focus on Chapter 3 and 7 of the Constitution, the Charter of Fundamental Rights and Freedoms, and the Judicature. The people of Jamaica will also be provided the opportunity to have their say on the matter of Jamaica's final court.
The Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs will also be tabling a referendum bill to provide for the procedures for the people's participation in the reform of the Constitution. Work is also far advanced to revise the Law Revision Act to establish a new framework for the revision and publication of Jamaica's laws in digitalized form, among other things. As he delivered the throne speech earlier today, which outlines the government's policies and programs for the upcoming fiscal year, Custos Fuller said it was time to write Jamaica's next chapter focused on aspiring to greatness.
Our nation stands at the dawn of a new chapter in its journey, one defined by resilience, ambition, and the unwavering determination of our people. Together, we have weathered storms, risen above challenges, and set the stage for a transformative era of growth and prosperity. Let us now move forward with boldness and vision, confident in the strength of our foundations and our nation's limitless potentials.
The Firearms Act is to be updated to, among other things, include a framework for plea negotiations. This is among the priority areas of legislative focus for the Ministry of National Security in the new fiscal year.
This is consequent to the effectiveness of the new mandatory minimum penalty, which has increased the level of interest among accused persons in entering guilty pleas.
Updates will also be made to the Proceeds of Crime Act and Fingerprints Act, alongside a comprehensive reform of the Corrections Act. Additionally, the Child Offender Rehabilitation and Social Reintegration Strategy will be launched to support transformative justice. As he outlined government's national security plan earlier today, the Custos of Kingston asserted that the various interventions to integrate legislation, technology, infrastructure, and social investment were creating a safer Jamaica.
Significant progress has been made in modernizing Jamaica's anti-crime policies and legislative framework to achieve these goals in accordance with Plan Secure Jamaica.
The government will be focusing on literacy and numeracy as priority in the 2025-2026 fiscal year, targeting children aged 0 to 8 years old.
There will also be the implementation of a special education policy to ensure equity and inclusivity, and expansion of the education management information system.
Legislative priorities for the Ministry of Education include revisions to the Jamaica Teaching Council Bill to establish teacher licensing. Amendments will also be made to the Education Act of 1965 to update principal and board appointments, and progress is to continue on the Jamaica Tertiary Education Commission Bill. In other news, Prime Minister Dr. Andrew Holness has announced changes to the slate of government senators. The Prime Minister has written to the Governor-General recommending the appointments of strategist and public policy expert Delano Seavright, communications specialist Marlon Morgan, and urologist Dr. Elon Thompson. They will fill the vacant posts left by this week's resignation of Delroy Williams and Ransford Braham, and the earlier resignation of Matthew Samuda, who was subsequently elected a Member of Parliament. The announcement came in a press release from the Office of the Prime Minister Wednesday evening. Dr. Holness has expressed gratitude to the former senators, who he says have played integral roles in advancing the government's legislative agenda and have served the people of Jamaica with distinction. In the meantime, he is welcoming Dr. Thompson, Mr. Morgan and Mr. Seavright to National Public Service, highlighting that they will bring a wealth of experience and expertise that will bolster the government's legislative efforts and further national priorities. Prime Minister Holness underscores that these nominations reflect his administration's continued commitment to strong, effective leadership and governance. The Ministry of Education, in partnership with the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JIS, has signed 2 contracts valued at over $250 million to fund 2 major educational projects. These are the Old Harbour Primary School Safe Passage Project and the Mount Salem Primary and Infant School Construction Project. The Old Harbour Primary Initiative, costing $89.2 million, will establish safe passage along Marley Acres from Sakaba Penn Road to include the construction of 980 meters of sidewalk, waiting sheds, street signs, crosswalks, stop bars, a pedestrian bridge, and murals with safety messages. $163 million will be spent to construct 16 classrooms for the new infant department, an administrative area, bathroom facilities, sick bay, kitchen and playground fencing, as well as termite treatment at Mount Salem Primary. Both projects are part of the 10th cycle of JIS's Basic Needs Trust Fund, which is financed by the Caribbean Development Bank, CDB.
Beyond the physical environment, it is important that we improve the educational outcomes at these schools, and so we will continue to work with the Early Childhood Commission and the Ministry in terms of curriculum development.
Education Minister Senator Dr. Dana Morris-Dixon says the signing marks a significant step towards improving access to quality education and prioritizing student safety.
As we undertake these projects to build fit-for-purpose, durable and climate-resilient infrastructure is really at the center of what we're doing.
And finally, the Ministry of Health's recent job fair was oversubscribed, with 2,907 persons screened and 2,480 of them meeting the qualifications for most of the jobs advertised. The Health Expo and Career Fair was held to recruit persons for 600 or so jobs in the public health sector. Portfolio Minister Dr. Christopher Tufton gave the update in a statement to Parliament on Tuesday.
I hasten to add that our work is not complete, however, Mr. Speaker. The team at the Ministry, along with the regional health authorities and our departments, will be completing the recruitment process for the advertised jobs and administering, analyzing surveys from schools that attend the Expo. This is to ascertain the further usefulness of the Expo experience.
Dr. Tufton says the Ministry will establish a database of job seekers to facilitate continued recruitment and workforce planning. The feasibility of annual or biennial expos is also being explored. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Twyla Whelan. Thanks for watching.